Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Cancer September 2016 horoscope forecast, and yes, it does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, let me get started, people. Well, the first thing is the Sun will be in Virgo from September 1st to the 22nd, and during this time, through the 22nd, there might be a need for Cancer to shine in intellectual and analytical communications. Between the 22nd and 30th, when the Sun will be in Libra, this could be a time to shine in collaborative efforts, perhaps with family members, and really about relationships with others that figure prominently in your home life. Now, Mercury will be in Virgo retrograde up till the 22nd of September. And of course, this is highlighting the third house. And during this time, there might be a strong period of mental review and analysis connected with matters pertaining to siblings, neighbors, and perhaps transportation as well. When it goes direct on the 22nd, this might be the time where you can get more direct communications and ones where you'll have responses that will be very prompt and punctual, since it will be in the sign of Virgo. You might even check the health of a car during this time, since their health is connected with Virgo, and car, of course, is connected with transportation. Well, anyway, Venus will be in Libra from the 1st to the 23rd of this month. And during that time, there may be a need to express a love of aesthetic beauty in the home. You might be really desiring peace and tranquility in the home. Of course, the fourth house is highlighted at this time. And when it goes into Scorpio from the 23rd to the 30th of this month, there might be a strong expression of emotional intensity in romantic relationships. This is when the fifth house will be highlighted. And you might express, for example, a love of Scorpio-like things during this time, perhaps astrology and really in things connected, maybe forensic science, things, and they might be connected perhaps with games and hobbies, like say playing the CSI game, or if they have an NCIS game, you might be interested in something like that, for example. Now, Mars will be in Sagittarius through the 27th of September. And during this time, okay, the sixth house is what is highlighted. And it could show a lot of positive, effervescent, expansive, and exuberant energy, perhaps connected with work, service, and health during this time. You might actually be very enthusiastic about these things, when a lot of times you may not be. Now, keep in mind, though, that the sign Sagittarius could be flighty and adventurous, so there might be a little lack of consistency in these areas, and you might kind of meander and wander from, like, say, one job assignment or work-related thing to the next, for example. However, Mars will enter Capricorn on the 27th, and this could be a period for strong discipline, consistent, and serious energy, perhaps connected with partnerships and relationships during this time. Mars highlighting the seventh house could also indicate acrimonious and contentious situations with open adversaries and enemies, but the fact that you have disciplined Capricorn there'll be a little bit more control than in a lot of the other signs. So, the next thing is Jupiter will enter Libra on September 9th. And of course, this highlights the fourth house for Cancer. This could be very fortuitous for perhaps expanding relationships in the family, showing charm, negotiation, tact, diplomacy in the home during this time. There could be a lot of exuberance shown in family life and doing home-related matters during this time for Cancer. Now, the next thing is Saturn will be in Sagittarius, will continue to be in Sagittarius this month for Cancer. And of course, that highlights the 6th house. Well, this could be a time for taking strong responsibility for health and work-related matters. And it could be done with a lot of Sagittarius veracity and authenticity. And there might also be some maybe laborious outdoor work during this time that you might maybe incorporate perhaps into your daily routine. And you might also apply some higher knowledge into this as well, because higher knowledge, of course, is associated with Sagittarius and in philosophy perhaps as well. Now, Uranus will continue to be in Aries, and this highlights the 10th house for Cancer. Well, this could be a time where Cancer may if it hasn't started already, might experience some disruption, perhaps some tumult, some chaos in matters connected with their career, maybe in the reputation even. It could be that the dominant parent, which is generally the father, might be a little more unpredictable during this time. And on the positive side, it could indicate maybe some innovation shown in the career for Cancer during this time, and really maybe bringing showing some ingenuity in career and something in your career. Even if you don't invent something during this time and gain recognition for it, it could be a time where, at least in matters with your career, you might be showing some ingenuity at that place where your career is based at. Now, Neptune will continue to be in Pisces during this time. So the 9th house is what's highlighted, and this might be a time where Cancer may experience some delusion and confusion connection with higher education and perhaps religion, such as false prophets or somebody trying to preach something that may be fallacious as far as religion goes. And this could be a time where, if applicable, Cancer might be experiencing a lot of idealism, perhaps in matters connected with in-laws and grandchildren, that is, if you do have them, Cancer. And anyway, the next thing is Pluto will continue to be in Capricorn during this time, and this could be a time where there might be perhaps continued transformation in matters connected with relationships. There might be a little bit upheaval and turmoil in this as well, which of course, Cancer being very sensitive to things around them might not go well for them. However, obliteration of some relationships could indicate a rebirth or a sign where you're going to get where you might wind up having a new relationship. A lot of times with Pluto, what we'll do is they could tear down something, but then there could be something with regeneration and rebirth connected with this. So it could perhaps indicate that one relationship could end and then another one may begin. And it could be a negative one that ends and then having a positive one begin after this. So anyway, and it could indicate that open adversaries, it could be something in a legal matter, might be very powerful during this time. And when I actually had the Pluto transiting my 7th house, you may have heard this from another video I made, but I actually had someone was prominent in my life, had a Scorpio Ascendant, and of course, you know, Pluto rules Scorpio, so it could indicate you can have perhaps a Scorpio open enemy or adversary during this time, or somebody that simply embodies Scorpio-like characteristics. Well, now the next thing is, okay, the North Node will continue to be in Virgo at this time, which of course highlights the 3rd house for Cancer. Well, this could indicate that current karmic mission or purpose for Cancer might be in matters connected with analytical, intellectual communication with others. And since the South Node would be in Pisces and highlighting the 9th house, this could be a time for Cancer to extricate his or herself perhaps from some kind of deceptive philosophies or some kind of deception connected and delusion connected with religious matters, or maybe taking those trips, that long journeys that aren't really realistic. Now the next thing is Chiron will continue to be in Pisces, and of course that highlights the 9th house for Cancer. Now this may be a time where Cancer may really feel like helping and healing in-laws, perhaps grandchildren, and showing that strong Pisces compassion during this time. And it might be through something connected with the metaphysical or through spirituality. Unfortunately, there might also be wounds, suffering, or despondency connected with matters with in-laws, grandchildren, or perhaps religion as well, being that the 9th house is highlighted due to perhaps that Pisces delusion and confusion. Now, also during this time that the solar eclipse will take place in Virgo on September 1st. And during this time, this health issue might flare up during this time, connected perhaps with a sibling, with somebody that's prominent in your neighborhood, a neighbor perhaps that you know very well. And it could be a time too, perhaps, where maybe some kind of health issue that you've been waiting on to get completely made official or diagnosed officially maybe is disclosed to you during this time. Or maybe it's a time where you decide to open up about a health issue that you've been suppressing and holding back, and you decide to communicate this during this time. It could also be a time where you might feel exceptional urge maybe to study, learn something connected with the Virgo-like subjects such as nutrition or something connected with health and fitness. Well, anyway, the Black Moon Lilith will continue to be in Scorpio during this time, and of course the 5th house is what's highlighted for Cancer during this time. Now, this could indicate perhaps possible uninhibited sexual erotic energy connected with somebody that you're involved with romantically. On another side, though, it could indicate in some cases that maybe you might, if you have any children, if applicable, you might feel that maybe one or more might be involved in something nefarious perhaps during this time. You might misconstrue something for them doing, maybe you're misconstruing something in them, and as far as maybe some kind of analysis with them, and maybe you feel they're doing something that might be corrupt, or it could be that maybe one or more might be doing something like this and you might not realize it, and it could go the other way. But these are isolated things. But keep in mind too that having the Black Moon Lilith highlighting the 5th house, the 5th house is connected with gambling, speculation. So it could be a time where there might be perhaps some reversals connected with this if you're involved with this. And being in Scorpio, it could be to the figurative, not literal, but to the figurative death of you, and could cause problems. So it's something to consider for Cancer during this time. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Cancer to September 2016 horoscope forecast. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be continuing my series on the transits with the North Node. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.